Taehyung. They was changing his side again and again, but sleep was far away from his eyes. Only the image was roaming in front of his eyes when he stepped out of the washroom and saw Jungkook yelling for him. He was coughing and fell down. He ran to Tae. The eyes were closed down, but still he could see his worried face. They felt his heart was strangled when he wrapped his arms around his shoulder to pull him in his lap. His eyes closed down, but still he was feeling his touch, his fragrance. What is happening to me? They sat up frustrated with his own feeling. They made his way out of the bed. They stood in front of the window and started looking at the sky and was trying to understand the feeling he felt in his heart. There was something in that moment that was pulling him to him. His eyes went down to the lawn and his heart skipped its beat again. He was seated there in the lawn. They turned to his height while looking from who was increasing his heartbeat. His feet moved and he stepped out of the room. Unknowledgely, they reached in the lawn and saw him roaming slowly here and there, taking a walk. Hi, they said. I stopped behind him. He turned immediately on the voice and saw him standing. His heart jumping for once, and he leered his eyes to control his heart. Hi, he answered. Can I walk? They asked, and he looked him. With you? They asked again, and he smiled on his cuteness. Sure, he answered, and both slowly walked toward. Merged their step with each other. He turned his head a little to see there was a smile on his face. He slipped his hand in his jeans pocket, while his eyes were just fixed on him. His earlock were hanging on his temple, which made him more beautiful. He averted his eyes immediately. Thank you, they said, and he looked at him. For what? He asked. For saving me. Thank you, they said, and he smiled. That's okay, he answered. And I'm sorry, he said, and he stopped his feet and turned to him fully. Sorry. For what? He asked. For the day, considering yourself a thief and then that cushion. Sorry. He smiled, thinking about their first meeting. It's okay, it's happened. He smiled and made his heart crazy. He averted his eyes immediately and he too looked away. His simple but beautiful smile was freezing his eyes on him. We should sleep now, they said, removing his eyes from him, and he nodded. They took a step to move when his feet were tangled with something which made him flutter, but his hand held his wrist to stop her falling for him. His eyes met as he both forget to move. He light but carefully touched the wrist. It was going goosebump on his skin, which made him strangle his stomach. Sorry, he said while freeing his waist. It's okay, and thank you again, they said, and he nodded, looking down. You should rest now, he said while moving ahead with him. Good night, he said, and they nodded, still looking down. Good night. They returned and walked. Stepping in his room, they closed his door and took deep breath to calm his heart. They smiled and lay on the bed while he thought. Only 3 weeks were left from the marriage, and all the youngsters were so excited. The weather was so good, so all planned to enjoy the weather. All elders took their seat in the lawn and started enjoying tea, while the youngsters started roaming around in the garden side and lot, walking barefoot on the grass to feel that softness. All were also roaming around. Hey everyone, Jungkook yelled, and everyone turned to him. Wanna play? He asked, and all got excited. They ran to them. Jungkook and Jungkook with Namjoon were standing there. I bet, they said happily. Really? A sudden voice appeared and all turned to Jungkook, who's coming with that always on expression's face. They look at him and he come in front of him. His heart skipped its beat for a second looking at him. He was so looking handsome in the cotton shirt with the light parrot color and black pants. So you can bet. Of course I can, they answered, looking back in his eyes. Both kept looking at each other's eyes, lost for a few seconds. Yoongi and Namjoon were looking at each other, and then was not saying anything, but just silent, looking at each other. You both are here, or Yoongi asked, making both of them to come to their senses. All looked away, and they heard the giggle of Jimin. Let's play, Jungkook asked, and taking the ball from J-Hope. And look at Taehyung. Yeah, let's play, they said. Wow, it's looked like a challenge, Yoongi said, and all walked toward the place they were going to play. Taehyung and Jungkook came in, and Jungkook asked her to look at him. He said, and Yoongi whistled happily. We all see who will win, they said again, and looked at him. What will the loser do? Jimin took the part and come forward. Let me think. Namjoon come forward and making him too nervous, but he stood still waiting for his suggestion. A cup of coffee would be asked from any of you at any time, Jungkook said simply. Such an easy task, you asked, Jimin said, and all laughed. Don't make my heart beat faster. Yoongi whispered as Jimin laughed, made his heart beat more faster. But Jimin heard his cheeks were heated up and his own heart would start beating. He looked at him once and moved back. A cup of coffee, he asked again, and this time his eyes were on Tae. They felt he was taking to only him. The condition he appeared from what only for him. He wanted him to make coffee for him. The thought made the heartbeat faster. And what will you do if they lose the match? Jin asked, and coming forward, they will do what will be asked to him. Taehyung said, and looking in his deep eyes which were fixed on him. Done, he said, and offering him the hand to shake.